All right, hello, this is Bethany and welcome to today's video. So today what I'm going to be doing is coiling my planners together. And so for this video, what I actually wanted to do is kind of do things in reverse. I want to show you what both of these planners look like together, like when I'm done with it. And then if you're interested in the recoiling process and that Franken-planning business, I'll put that afterwards. But there are a lot of other videos that talk about that, so I didn't want to bore you with that if that's something you're not interested in. So I'm just going to show you what I did to put both of these together. And then, like I said, I'll put the actual Franken-planning process after. So with the magic of video editing, we will just say the magic words, snap our fingers, and this will be the new planner. Ready? Here we go. Alakazam. Okay, so here is what I have now for my planner situation with everything together from the two planners that I really wanted to keep. So again, both planners are from Plum Paper, and I will flip you through what I've got. So I kept the striped cover. I did wind up keeping the clear plastic. I had thought about not. So obviously kept the cover page. We've got the year. There's our special dates, big ideas, plans, goals. I kept the colorful tabs for all instead of the neutral. I have my July monthly highlight. And I'll just show you kind of 1 month together, and then they're all pretty much the same. Also, I will link the other videos I have walking through both of these planners separately. I didn't want to bore with going through each of these. So I kept the page that I'm going to keep for tracking my YouTube videos, obviously. I kept my monthly view. I kept the weekly. So then it goes into the weeks. Weeks, and then the end of the week. So at the end of the weeks, the weekly view. So it's a month and weekly view is how I have it. And then it goes into a month and daily view. So in the month of daily view, I do have the podcast planning page here, which again, this was just a notes page. That's what I like to use it for. But I needed to keep this one because again, it backed up against the week view there. So I kept that in. This is also another notes page, just kind of transitions into the next. Same thing, I had to keep this monthly here because on the flip side, I have my daily pages starting here. And again, you can see where the neutral changes over from the colorful right there. We've got July colorful, July neutral, and comes into here. So I don't know, I might use this as like a social media planning or something else, but, or I might just tape them together. If I have no use for it, I'll just put those together and, move on with my life here. Going into, again, daily, all these are daily. This is where I was kind of thinking of some things that I could put here. Daily, all these daily pages. And then at the end of the month, okay, so at the end of the month, we have monthly cleaning add-on. We've got the habit tracker add-on. We've got the fitness tracker add-on. And then we're into August, same thing. So it's like that every month. You've got the highlights, goes into month, weekdays, etc. So I like that it kind of goes through that way. And then at the very, very end, what I kept was I kept the meal add-on. So that's the full meal add-on, 1 grid. And then on the other side is my passwords, contacts, US holidays. And then there is 2022 at the back there. And I kept this clear plastic sleeve. I did take out these pockets just because I don't really use them right now. I think I'm going to use this clear sleeve for anything that I would keep like on board. So I'm not too worried about not having a pocket, but I thought that this was just adding bulk I didn't really use right now. And if I want to put it back in later, I can, there are ways that I could like snip. Again, I could snip in here and then just kind of clip, push it in. So if I need to do that, I will. Otherwise, that is it for this. Okay, so that is the flip through. If you just want to see what I have left, this will be my main planner for now and pretty much my only one, I think. Subject to change. But for the next 6 months, this is it. This is the thing. So again, that is the flip through, what I decided to keep. Keep watching if you want to see the actual recoil process. This is actually my first recoiling ever, my first Franken-planning ever. So I am really, really nervous. I'll be honest. I'm super nervous. I'm hoping I don't somehow destroy both planners in this process. And I will show you what I do and we'll go from there. So there are lots of different Franken-planning and recoiling videos out there that, YouTubers who know what they're doing are putting together. So I don't know, this one might be more entertaining than educational, but again, I will show you what I'm doing and hopefully maybe give you some ideas, or like I said, at least a laugh. So I have both my planners. This is my Plum Paper Daily, and this is my Plum Paper weekly vertical columns. So this one's a weekly, this is a daily. I want them both together, and we'll see how that goes. I want pieces from each, and then they also both have different add-ons that I had included that I want in both together. So I'm going to be putting those add-ons, the add-ons that they both came with will both be staying in the final product, hopefully. So what I have here is I have obviously both planners. I have a large coil. I think specifically it is 1.25 inches. Yeah. So this I got from, I think, Lime Life Planners. I'll double check and then I'll put a little label up here for you. And then some binder clips to hold everything together. Again, I only have this stuff ready because that's what I see other people do. This is like literally monkey see, monkey do situation. So I see people use these, and it tends to help with the uncoiling, I guess, because it keeps every little page together while you're destroying it and ripping it apart. So that's cool. I also have handy dandy pliers because I will need these to take this end, bend it, and get that going. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous just like thinking about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I also do have an extra one of these just in case. So I keep telling myself that. So worst case, as long as they don't rip anything, oh gosh, knock on wood, as long as I don't rip anything, it should be okay. So I also did wrap my pliers in this tape. I don't know what kind of tape this is. I just like had it in my junk drawer. So I just wrapped it around. Several of you here and then also on Instagram suggested doing this. So thank you, every single person who said to do that, because I would have forgotten. So I'm going to do that. And that's just to prevent the coil from getting nicked up from this, you know, harsher metal. Okay, here we go. All right, so moment of truth. I'm going to hopefully that is undone enough to go through the pages. If not, I'll have to come back and rebend it or do the other side, I think. All right, then we just start. Okay, do you have to do both sides, it looks like, so take this one up too. Like, I'm not too worried about this coil and hurting this one, just because I'm going to again put it on that larger coil. So I'm not gonna cry too much if this one is a little bit out of shape. Okay. I think that one is smoother, so maybe I'll try going that way. All right, so what I actually did was, because, again, I'm not using this coil to recoil it at all, I just snipped it because I didn't want it to get stuck. Now I can just take it off. All right. Whew. Okay, so that piece is done. I'm going to unclip this so that I can use the clips for the other book. And set this aside. And honestly, it works so well with the other one, just clip it. I'm just going to clip it. So I'm just going to snip and cut off those ends again, because we're not going back, folks. This is it. This is a one-way trip. I'm committed to doing this at this point, and that's just where we are with it. So again, I'm going to just cut it because I'm not going back into this coil. And just twist it off again. So now book number 2 is good as well. So I'm going to unclip this and start picking out the pieces that I want from each. Let's do first things first. I've decided that I want this cover, so I'm going to stick with this cover, and I think that I don't want the clear plastic covers. So I'm actually going to set those aside. I'm also, like I said, not going to go with this cover, so I'm going to set this one aside. We're going to keep this cover. It's like keep it, don't keep it, etc. So we're going to keep this one, put it up here. I'm going to say no, 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 because I want the colorful of that. So also no on this tab. Here we're going to go, so I'm going to switch these. I think this will be easier. Okay, so this is a yes, 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 yes. Keep that, keeping this, keeping this, and this. So weekly, I'm going to put the week next and then go into the daily pages. So weekly, weekly, this is all the weeks, all the way through to the very end of the month. And there's my fitness tracker. And there are those dot grid pages at the back. So I just want to make sure that I do want those. Let me just kind of take a moment to pause. Do I want the dot grid? I don't think, maybe no. I think maybe no. I think I'm going to take out these extra note into dot grid pages. And then if I do want some extra, I'll put them at the back, but I don't have like a specific set purpose for these and I don't want it to get too thick. So I'm going to set these aside also. All right, so this is what we're keeping out of this. And then of course, all the daily pages. And I need to keep these together because we have the first day on the back. So I'm going to keep all of this through the days and the daily. And I'm going to end with, so the fitness tracker is a sheet all on its own. That's awesome. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That's good. And then I forget if this, okay, that's part of the week. So I'll take this, set it over here, and then we'll go through all the daily and then wrap up with habit tracking, cleaning, and then this add-on. Okay, so that's basically 1 month done. So instead of making you suffer through the rest of that, I'm going to sort through and then start to look at recoiling it. Okay, so I have now plucked out all the pieces from each planner that I wanted to keep. I've combined them together and I have stacked them so that they're mostly together. I tried to put this band around because these clips didn't fit anymore. And I know I just need a little bit of something to keep it going. So what a lot of people recommend is making sure that you can see daylight through the holes before you start the recoiling process. So I'm just going to kind of like play with it until I get to a good point, and then I'll start putting the coil back in. Okay, so what I wound up doing is I actually put the band on just the pages and then have the cover separate because these are like the cover is a different size obviously than the pages. So it wasn't quite lining up, but I think this is helping. So let's give this a try. All right, it's all on this massive coil. So I'm going to just do a flip through before I cut this and kind of bend in the edges, but it's almost there. I also did make the kind of executive split decision to keep the clear plastic on it. It's nice like this, but like actually I do like it with the clear. Once I saw it without it, I thought I did like it with it again, and it's always easier to take it off than to have to recoil it. And if I want to cut it, I could just do that. So all right, I'm going to give this a good check and then we'll wrap it up. Everything looks to be good and just the way I want it. So I'm going to snip, snip. I'm going to cut the edges off of this top here so you don't have all that extra. That'd be crazy, like carry that around. Can you imagine? What would you do with that? And then here as well, it looks like it's about, on other planners I have, I double checked, it's about like maybe a ½ inch that they're bent in. So I would do the bottom one first. All right, sorry guys, that part I had to do off camera because I had to get this thing like super close to my face to get it to like bend and see what I was doing. So I think I might like mess with this a little bit more to get it a little bit neater in there. It's not like super, neat and tight. So I don't know, I might mess with that somewhere later, but I mean, it's on there and it's fine. Here's the bottom. You can see how it's like bent in. And then here's the upper. So, I mean, I don't look at that part all the time. It might not bother me, but I'll probably mess with it a little bit more. The trick that I found for that made it a little bit easier, I wish I'd known it ahead of time. Otherwise, I would have done it that way in the first place. But if you like, kind of the coil is bent, right? So it's spiraling around. So if you straighten it out first and then tuck it down, it seems to go a little bit better than just trying to bend it without straightening it first. So good to know for next time, because if I like this, I'll be doing this again in 6 months for another daily with the rest of my pages. So that is it. It is all together. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful in some way, maybe. If you plan on putting some of your planners together, Franken-planning, recoiling, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this was my experience today. Honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It was fine. It wasn't like, it just wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be really hard to get the coil back in, but honestly, getting it back in was probably the easiest part, because what I did was I had the band around the inside pages and then just had these on top, and then it just went in like a dream, because I could just thread the back cover through the chunk that was stuck together with the band and then through the front cover. So yeah, it worked. It's fine. And now my weekly is with my daily, and life is awesome. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful rest of your week, and we will chat soon. Bye.